when they feel like it. I'm just going to start with the story saying that I am a fucking idiot. And the way that you know this is true is because when I was 19, I went to art school. Which is a sure sign of like utter stupidity. And I went to this art school, a small Midwestern art school. That's how the Penthouse letter starts off. I never knew what happened to me. So I went to this art school. And art school essentially is a prolonged experience of being stoned and not really sure where you are and oddly naked much of the time. Because you basically what you do is you spend like your days like coming up with projects, and projects are ways of getting your classmates to take off all their clothes so you can take pictures of them. And this is a project. And you do this for a grade, and so you can like jack off later. And this kind of fills your time until like someone sees altered states of William Hurt, and then like you spend like all your time locking a portfolio locker on acid. You know? And the person at my school whose job it was to kind of watch over this was a guy named George Bartko. And George Bartko was this Hungarian man with a giant cement block for a head. Like he was a huge dude. He got a lot of shoulders, but like the most pronounced thing was up with this immense fucking head. He had this enormous forehead. It was like this Viking mane that came down. And he kind of walked in, and he sort of his basic like sort of gaze, and he looked at you, kind of said, you know, I'll kill you when I want to. When it suits me, you die. And he sort of, you know, like the very first class, like the very first class I've ever had with Bartko's class was drawing one. Like first class, first semester, drawing one. And I'm sitting there. We're all sitting these drawing horses are looking up there, and we're looking at Bartko. And Bartko kind of walks in, and he goes to the board, and he starts sort of doing this thing. It's Hungarian, and he has this accent, and he's talking, you know. And the first thing you're gonna do, you're gonna draw a straight line. You draw this straight line, and then when you're done drawing a straight line, I'll tell you what you did wrong. And he turns around, and the guy next to me is sort of this big dude sitting next to me. The big dude sitting next to me is drawing. He's like doodling in his sketch pad while Bartko is talking. And Bartko takes his chalk and he breaks it in half. And he wings half this chalk and he pegs this dude right in the head with this chalk. And the guy looks up and Bartko says, what the fuck? What? You notice already? What the fuck is wrong with you? Get the fuck out of my fucking class. I'll fucking kill you. And so he's abusing us, and instantly, because we're art students and we're you know, inherently masochists, we're all completely and totally enamored of him now. Now we love him. Now we're going to follow him around like puppies and be like, abuse us, hurt us, yes, beat us, do it all the time. Because we're 19-year-olds in art school. We have not had proper parental supervision, we wouldn't be here. And we're idiots. Peter, think about idiots.
An art school degree will get you one thing, and that one thing is nothing. You won't have anywhere to go that'll make you fall any closer to the bottom at all. Art school degree will get you one thing, and that is nothing. You hang out with idiots, you smoke some weed, that's the same thing as a liberal arts degree.
Yes, the moral of the story is you go to art school and you end up in front of a band in a room full of like 6 people. So you follow Bartko around all the time. You know? And the thing was that like, you would sort of walk up to him, you know, in the hallway, and he'd be talking to somebody. He'd be talking to like one of the older students, you know, one of the people who'd sort of been there and paid their dues. And he'd be sort of having like, from all appearances from the outside, because you'd kind of circle him. You know, you'd circle him cautiously before you ever approached. And you'd be sort of like utterly fucking terrified. So you'd be sort of looking at him, and like, he'd be having what looked like a normal conversation, like a humane, like casual casual conversation with one of the older students. And so you'd walk up to ask him a question. And you'd go, "Excuse me, Mr. Marco?" And he would turn around and he'd go, "What? What the fuck? I'm fucking talking here. What the fuck is wrong with you?" And you know, and like you got attention. You were related. It was kind of all pathetic and sad. It was art school. So this kind of goes on for quite some time. But you know, you're fixated on hardcore. At the same time, you're kind of going about the rest of art school, and you're doing other projects, and you're getting into other things. You are learning, and you're figuring stuff out, and you're like being creative. You're being pretentious because you're 19, you're kind of stupid. But you know, you're at the same time you are like, you know, you're exploring like new, great things. You're kind of doing shit, and it's all, you know, it's all kind of a big, very, you know, cool learning, growing experience. You're having a lot of fun. You're taking a shitload of drugs, and you're having a lot of sex you're gonna wonder about later. But you know, it's good. And eventually, you have other teachers and that kind of thing, and then you still have classes of art every once in a while, but kind of, I don't know. It's not that the aura wears off, it's just that you get a little more used to this guy. Maybe he's a little more used to you, or maybe you get a little better at what you do. You know, maybe you get like a smidgen of like respect. It's kind of hard to tell until
There's one thing that an art degree will get you.